Alright, y'all, welcome back. Welcome in. I have two verses for y'all today. The first one is Hebrews 11, verse 4. It says, "Through his faith, though he died, he still speaks. They killed the messenger, but they did not kill the message, and they can't kill the message." Now, this is clearly very important and evident, but I also just wanted to kind of touch on the fact that, I was so glad that I started this, made this channel, because I'd used words in that video that I, never really used, like ignite. I thought that was a funny word. It just happened to come to mind. And then I believe it was that night, maybe the next night, Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, had come out, and that's when she gave her message and all that. And I just thought it was so interesting that she also had used the word ignite when talking about the movement, igniting, the Christian movement, and, just basically the other things Charlie stood for. And I just thought the word choice was interesting because, like I said, I never used that. But so I just kind of, even though at the time of recording this, I think that video has less than 50 views. That's still something. You can still build into something. And so I thought that was interesting. But anyway, the next one is Luke chapter 11, verses 9 and 10. They're very similar, so we'll kind of couple them together. The first is, "Ask and it will be given to you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds, and everyone who knocks the door will be opened." So now this is, whether you're kind of there's, I think we should, when referencing this, we should kind of think of, there's been a mass movement towards Christianity through this, so that's also a beautiful thing. And so there's a whole lot of new Christian viewers, or not viewers, but just people kind of looking into the faith and just kind of trying to find their way, trying to come back to God and whatnot, almost like a factory reset, if you will. It's funny how that works. How tragic events always bring everyone closer to God, and that's usually how a lot of us find God in ourselves and through nature, God, of course. But so I just thought this was important because it talks about, if you're truly searching for something, you'll find it, and the doors will open for you. Now, this doesn't mean you sit there and you pray for a new car and one just shows up in the driveway, or you just pray for money and it just gets deposited into your bank account. Come in. Yeah, the dogs are over there eating on some grass. But anyway, so doesn't necessarily mean it's just going to be deposited into your bank account. I mean, it could happen, crazy things do happen, but it's more of let me give you an example. I think that would be better. I was low on money recently, and I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to trust in the Lord, and, I think an opportunity will arise. Lo and behold, the next day or two, one of my neighbors, she was like, "Hey, if you would like, I would enjoy if you could, take care of the landscaping at her house. It's she's a widow, and she hasn't taken care, nobody's taking care of the weed whacking or pulling out the bamboo from certain spots, because we have that here, and all this other stuff that just needed to be done. It hasn't done for 5 years, right? So now it took me the whole weekend to do that, right? But there was the opportunity, and that's how I made money, and that's how it happened. And so that's how it is. It's not necessarily that the things will just be handed to you, but it's more so the opportunities will be given to you, right? And as we know, God does not like lazy, right? So like I said, sometimes miraculous things could happen, but I even think back to my childhood. My mom kind of always integrated in us, we have this, or we were able to eat this week, or whatever the case has been provided by God. She always ingrained that in us, and so I never doubted God really ever. But of course, there was a period when I went away from Him, and then I had to come back after I hit rock bottom, of course. But I say all that to say, you search and He will provide, right? And so the opportunities are out there. You just have to go find them. And so as we're looking for opportunities, in the world today, dear Lord, I just pray that, the person watching this can go about the rest of their week safely and really, continue to look into your message. And I hope that, all of the new followers of Christ, I hope the churches keep flourishing and stay jam-packed. And I just pray for, peace and everyone's safety, especially as we continue on into this new week, as today is Monday. Thank you, dear Lord. Amen.